The Innovation Farms Ontario videos and podcasts are sponsored by FCC's Ag Expert. To learn more, visit agexpert.ca.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Thomas McClay. I am the Research and Technician Supervisor here at Hagerty Ag Robotics. Some of you might remember me from last year, where I was just a research and technician, but now I'm back and I've got that supervisor role. So a little bit about me. I've completed 3 years of mechatronics engineering at the University of Western Ontario. And how I actually found Hagerty Ag Robotics was actually through school. In second year, for those of you who went into engineering at Western, know that we have to write an essay course. And in the essay course, believe it or not, you have to write an essay. And my essay was actually, I chose to write it about farming and things we could do to improve the current situation in farming. And what I found is these robot applications could be really, really beneficial. And through my research, I actually found Hagerty Ag Robotics, decided, hey, I wonder if they hire summer students. Sent the info email asking if they hired summer students. And here we are a year and a half later, and couldn't be happy to be a part of this team. So a little bit about me is that I actually don't come from a farming background. I come from the suburbs, like I'm sure many of you do as well. But through my experience here, I actually found a real passion for agriculture, and for lack of a better term, I can see myself within this field for much longer. So yeah, I'll go into a little bit about what I've done this summer. So the first project I worked on is I'll give you a high level as to what it was about here first, is that so within lima beans in Ontario, weeds are a big issue, like with all crops. Something that I learned is that sometimes the weed density is so high within a certain section of the field that they won't even harvest that section of the field. So that's pretty interesting. So right now, the current method for scouting fields is they'll just send a human out there. They'll do an M in the field or just a V to get a rough idea of where the weeds are, but that's really just a rough idea. So we're trying to create a system in which we can get a much clearer picture as to where these weeds are within the field. And so that's what we've built here is a AI system, an AI algorithm that we can use in conjunction with images to detect where exactly these weeds are within the field to give the farmer a bigger picture or a better picture as to how to manage his field or his or her field more efficiently. So to do this, to build this model, obviously we need thousands and thousands of photos of lima bean fields. And to do that, it's a little bit annoying to just go out there with your iPhone and take a bunch of photos. So what we decided to do is we decided to build this boom, which you see on the right there, that'll house 6 different cameras to take a bunch of pictures more efficiently. So my task was actually to build this boom, to design this boom. And to do that, because I don't come from a farming background, me and Jason actually decided to go to a farming junkyard to get an idea of what farming engineering practices are currently being used to build farming implements. So that was a pretty cool experience just to see all the different hinge designs people were coming up with and all the mounting mechanisms and things like that. So that was pretty cool. And so that's how I came up with the design that you see on your right, which was built in SolidWorks. So that way we could make adjustments to the design without actually having to build it first and then making adjustments in real life. So there you go. You've got your design, and now here it actually is in real life on the HCT robot, which is an autonomous farming robot there. So as you can see, it's got 6 different cameras, and it spans about a 30-foot swath width. So that way we can do 30 feet passes along the rows there. So that created taking pictures a lot more efficient. And so that was pretty interesting to get that done. And so here you can actually see the boom in action. So personally, this was a pretty cool experience for me because I had never actually designed anything. In school, you design things in theory, but I've never actually designed something that was actually built. And to see what I had actually designed, built, and used in the field to see what worked, what didn't work, and what adjustments could be made next year was a pretty cool experience just to see all of that. So here you go. You go on the left, you can see it on the gator, and that's it in the middle, also on the gator, but can also be attached to what you saw before on the HCT for a more autonomous operation. So that was the lima bean imaging project. Oh. The next thing I worked on was an electric planner. Now, some of you may be asking, why don't we just use normal hydraulic planners? Well, that's because most of our robots are electric. They don't have hydraulic systems on board. So we can't use hydraulic planners. So what we've decided to come up with is we actually bought these electric planters from the company called Wizard. And with Chuck's not going to like that I use this word, but from a piece of garbage from his backyard, as you can see on the left, it looks like it's from the Titanic. Let's be honest. This old piece of farm equipment. As you can see in the middle, we cut it down, we polished it, painted it, and now it looks as nice as it does. You can see it on the right there, the finished product with those two electric planters. We actually do plan on adding 2 more rows to that planter, and this will be used on the Naio Oreo, which you will see my coworker Dexter will talk about in a little bit. And the last project I worked on was actually the Naio Oz. So the Oz is a like a single row robot. It's more meant for like market garden applications. So this comes from Naio from France there. And so one of the challenges we had this summer was with these robots and their battery life. It wasn't exact. They had claimed that it was supposed to go for about 8 hours, and we were finding that it wasn't doing that. So one thing I did was to analyze what their actual battery depletion was and how that was going. So I took a whole bunch of points to see what how long it took for it to deplete and made a graph and stuff and sent that to them. And with them, we created a plan as to how to resolve this issue. And so that's it in the middle. You can see that's me testing the maps. You can actually see how straight it is at following these lines. Those are the lines that it created in the grass. So that's pretty cool to see. And then on the right there, you can see the Oz actually in the field doing what it's supposed to be doing, weeding and such. So that's it for me. I'll pass it along to my coworker Hassan, and he'll tell you what he was up to this summer.